In the halls of power, where truth is supposed to matter, the White House press secretary just stood at the podium and spewed a litany of lies that would make even Stalin's propagandists blush. And they did it with a straight face.
And if he ever ends up back in the United States, he would immediately be deported again. Nothing will change the fact that Abrego Garcia will never be a Maryland father. He will never live in the United States of America again.
What you just witnessed isn't a press secretary doing her job. It's a performance artist playing the role of official government liar with enthusiasm that would impress even the most ardent fascist. Okay, so let's break down this bullshit one steaming pile at a time, shall we? The question is where to begin with this masterclass of deception. Well, multiple courts, including the goddamn Supreme Court of the United States, have already determined that Abrego Garcia was wrongly deported. His deportation violated a 2019 court order that specifically protected him from being sent to El Salvador. So when Levitt confidently asserts he'd be immediately deported again, she's not just misleading you, she's flat out lying to your face. There is zero legal foundation for this claim. None. It's fiction masquerading as fact, served up with the smugness that can only come from someone who knows that they'll never be held accountable.
Nothing will change the fact that Abrego Garcia will never be a Maryland father.
Now here's where the cruelty really shines through, folks. Gilmar Abrego Garcia already is a Maryland father. He has a 5-year-old son with autism and a hearing impairment who lives in Maryland. And he has 2 stepchildren. Before the Trump administration snatched him away, he was living with his family, working as a sheet metal worker in Baltimore. And being, you know, a father. But apparently in MAGA land, you can just decree that someone is not a father if they're brown enough, and you can deport them hard enough. Call it what it is. It's administrative ethnic cleansing by proclamation. The White House isn't just denying reality, they're attempting to erase a family. They're telling a 5-year-old special needs child that his father doesn't exist anymore because some bureaucrat decided it. They're telling that child's mother that her husband isn't real. This isn't politics, it's psychological warfare against an American family.
He will never live in the United States of America again.
Now, this isn't a statement of fact, it's a declaration of intent. It's the White House saying, we don't care what the courts say. We don't care what the law says. We are above the law.
My lord, is that legal?
I will make it legal.
The Supreme Court, you know, that pesky branch of government that conservatives used to pretend to respect, unanimously ruled that the Trump administration must facilitate bringing Abrego Garcia back to the US. Judge Paula Zinnes has ordered daily updates to the steps being taken to return him. But Levitt just, what? Overrules the Supreme Court from the podium. This is not how any of this is supposed to work. This is not how it works.
And the United States Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the President of the United States and the Secretary of State could not be compelled to forcibly retrieve this citizen of El Salvador.
Another day, another attempt at gaslighting America. The Supreme Court actually ruled 9-0 that the Trump administration must try to release Abrego Garcia and facilitate his return. They didn't say, nah, you're good, just ignore the guy rotting in a foreign prison after you illegally deported him. Yet that's exactly how Levitt portrays it. This administration has mastered the art of saying the exact opposite of what reality is with such confidence that their base just believes it. I swear, at this point, the do-your-own-research crew would watch Levitt point to the sky and declare that it's made of cheese and just nod along going, yeah, that makes sense.
Who is currently locked up in a maximum security prison in his home country due to his MS-13 membership.
Alright, so here's where things get a bit more nuanced. Yes, Abrego Garcia is imprisoned in El Salvador's CICOT, their terrorism confinement center. That much is true. But claiming this is due to his MS-13 membership is presenting an allegation as established fact. So what's the evidence for this MS-13 claim? A Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie with money designs that police decided were gang-related. Oh, and he was detained with 3 other people in a Home Depot parking lot. That's it. That's their smoking gun. No criminal record, no convictions, no actual evidence of gang activity, just a hat and a hoodie and the word of an administration that has lied about literally everything else in this case, and in general.
He said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
Well,
over that.
wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the
do that.
letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshop. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay.
But you know what? Let's say, just for argument's sake, that the MS-13 allegations were true. Here's the question that so many of the law and order party can't seem to ponder. Would that make any of this okay? Would it justify ignoring court orders, violating due process, ripping apart an American family? Of course not. This is America, or at least it used to be. The US has courts, the US has legal procedures. The US doesn't just disappear people because someone in power decides that they're undesirable. What's happening here is far bigger than one man. It's about whether the United States can claim to be governed by law or if it's devolved into a country ruled by executive whim. It's about whether American courts still hold any authority if the White House can simply ignore judicial orders whenever convenient. And most personally, it's about the shattered lives left in the wake of this policy. A 5-year-old child with autism and hearing impairment who's lost his father, 2 stepchildren suddenly without their parental figure, and a wife forced to shoulder the entire burden of caring for these 3 children alone. This isn't about abstract politics, it's about the deliberate destruction of a family unit by the Trump administration's cruel deportation machine. How is this making America great again? Oh, and just while we're here, you know how a lot of conservatives want to talk about the importance of having a male figure in the life of the child, which is absolutely true. You want a father figure. Where are they now? Where is their care? This is a big thing. Removing that father from those 3 children is big, it's huge. This is one of the things that the statistics do actually show.
Does anyone have any questions for Patty or for me? No?
I have a question.
No? Anybody? Okay, we'll see you all later.
Well, isn't that just spineless? Any questions, anyone? Oh, you have a question. Is it a question that I won't like? Yeah, no, I'm not answering that. No. I actually want to remove you people from here so there's only yes men in here so that our propaganda can have maximal effect. Spineless. There you have it, the perfect encapsulation of this administration's approach to accountability. Spew lies, refuse questions, and walk away. Dinner's waiting, after all. We can't let, a little thing like a man's life or America's principles get in the way of that buffet. The tragedy isn't just what's happening to Garcia, it's what's happening to America itself. When the highest institutions can lie this brazenly, when courts can be dismissed so casually, when families can be destroyed this callously, a line has been crossed that democracies aren't supposed to cross. And while Caroline Leavitt enjoys her dinner tonight, children will go to sleep without their father again. A wife will face another day of uncertainty. And somewhere in a Salvadorian prison, a man who lived peacefully in America for 15 years will wonder if he will ever see his family again. That's the human cost of these lies. That's the reality this administration doesn't want you to see. And that's precisely what I am going to keep reporting on. This fascistic administration is a threat to the entire Western world, and it's my opinion that we all have a part to play in preserving what our ancestors so graciously left us. Garcia is not in this fight alone. And again, it doesn't matter whether or not he is guilty of what they accuse him of. What matters is that he gets a fair trial. We are in it whether or not we want to be in it. This is an existential threat to everything that is stability, to everything that is the West, to everything that matters.